Hello friends, welcome to today's daily devotion. We are wrapping up this week of looking at John Wesley's gain all you can rule for the use of money. And to wrap up the week, we are looking back in the New Testament at the Gospel of Matthew, reading chapter 20, verses 1 through 16, as Jesus gives us the parable of the workers in the vineyard. Hear now these words. For the kingdom of heaven is like a landowner who went out early in the morning to hire workers for his vineyard. He agreed to pay them a denarius for the day and sent them into his vineyard. About 9 in the morning, he went out and saw others standing in the marketplace doing nothing. He told them, "You also go work in my vineyard, and I will pay you whatever is right." So they went. He went out again about noon and at about 3 in the afternoon and did the same thing. About 5 in the afternoon, he went out and found still others standing around. He asked them, "Why have you been standing here all day long doing nothing?" "Because no one has hired us," they answered. He said to them, "You also go and work in my vineyard." When evening came, the owner of the vineyard said to his foreman, "Call the workers and pay them their wages, beginning with the last ones hired and going on to the first." The workers who were hired about 5 in the afternoon came and each received a denarius. So when those came who were hired first, they expected to receive more. But each one of them also received a denarius. When they received it, they began to grumble at the landowner. "Those who were hired last worked only 1 hour, they said, "and you have made them equal to us who have borne the burden of the work and the heat of the day." But he answered one of them, "I am not being unfair to you, friend. Didn't you agree to work for a denarius? Take your pay and go. I want to give the ones who was hired last the same as I gave to you. Don't I have the right to do what I want with my own money? Are you envious because I am generous? So the last will be first, and the first will be last." This parable, this story, it messes with our human sense of what is fair. For the workers who agreed at the beginning of the day, at 6 a.m., that they were going to be hired working all day for a denarius at 6 a.m., they were happy for that opportunity. But then the folks who got hired at 5 in the afternoon and only had to work an hour, when they get the same denarius that the guys who had worked for 12 hours got, our sense of human fairness is like, no, that's not fair. Equal work should be equal pay, right? In fact, that's kind of the way that our capitalistic system seems to want us to operate, that you get what you deserve, and if you are able to take advantage of somebody else, then do it. And so we look at this landowner and think, well, he's being unfair, he's taking advantage of the others. But Jesus turns this upside down, because it's the landowner who is being generous in giving these workers their wages. And when the landowner is willing to give the same amount to the workers for 1 hour as the workers for 12 hours, that's not him taking advantage, that's him being generous. And so as we gain all that we can, we should not get ourselves caught up in an entitlement mentality that says, oh, I should get more because I worked harder than that guy over there or that girl over there. I deserve more than what I agreed to get. No, we never deserve more than what we get. That's why the kingdom of heaven is a kingdom based on grace, not on merit. and be so grateful that that is the way God chooses to work with us. For wages, as we find out from the Apostle Paul, of sin is death. So the fact that we get anything at all from God, that is God's generosity in action. So gain all you can without harming yourself, without doing things illegally or immorally, without harming others, taking of their possessions or of their life and resources, their health, and instead give the best that you can in what you are doing and recognize that God chooses to be the blesser, the one who gives you over and above anything that you might think you have earned. Those are God's choices and God's blessings. Here at Goldston Methodist Church, we are seeking to be people who know how to gain all we can in all the right ways and recognize the joy that comes from God's grace and generosity. And we invite you to be a part of what we are doing. Be a member of our gathered group of people seeking Jesus Christ with all of our heart, soul, mind, and strength. We gather every Sunday morning, 10 a.m. for our Sunday school discipleship faith formation time, and then at 11 a.m. for worship. And if you are geographically capable of being with us, come to 185 Hillcrest Avenue in Goldston and join us. If you're not able to be here physically, then join us virtually. Our worship is streamed online and on Facebook, and you can catch it later on YouTube. You can also go to the church website, www.goldstonmethodist.org, and be able to capture all of the different ways in which we engage in the virtual world and also in the real one. Come. Be a part of the people of God who are gaining all that we can in all the right ways. And I'll see you on Monday for our next daily devotion.